Hello and welcome. My name is Christina from Empowered Creator. I am a mindset and conscious manifesting teacher and coach, and this is my YouTube channel. Here I talk about all things law of assumption, mindset, conscious manifesting, the quantum universe, and a lot more. And my goal is to simplify everything. So if you guys like this content and would like more of it, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on it, share it perhaps, and just stick around. Also, if you need any help with your specific situation, I offer one-on-one coaching, email coaching, small group coaching, as well as custom subliminals for whatever help you may need. And if you're interested in any of these services, the links are below in the description box, and they're going to take you to my website. With all that being said, let's get to today's video. Today we're going to talk about a topic that is very pertinent among many people manifesting a specific person, and that is dealing with a third party. Now, a third party in most cases is a third person, and that can manifest in many scenarios. For example, maybe your SP is dating someone new, maybe they left you for someone else, maybe you are being involved with someone who's already involved with someone else, either in a relationship or in a marriage. Maybe you are in a relationship with your specific person and they're just flirting with other people or talking to other people in social media. It can be many cases, it can be many scenarios. Also, in some cases, third parties can be non-romantic people. For example, it can be a family member who has some sort of influence on your specific person. It can be a friend, that sort of thing. It can also be a circumstance. Sometimes it can be their work or their business or any other circumstance really. But in most cases, it is a third person. When we talk about a third party, we refer to a third person. So that's what we're going to focus on here today in this video. Now I'm going to talk about how to get rid of the third party, obviously. But before I go there, I wanted to talk about something else that is equally important, if not more important. And I want you all to pay a lot of attention to this because it is something that needs to be dealt with. It is something that needs to be tackled. So I wanted to address why we manifest situations like this in our lives, in our dominant stories in the 3D, why we manifest third people into our relationships. So more often than not, circumstances like these, like a third party in our relationship of any kind, is usually some sort of an issue in our self-concept that we need to resolve, that we need to change, that we need to improve. It can be something like we're not feeling worthy enough. We're feeling unworthy of love, or perhaps we're feeling unworthy of that specific person for whatever reason. It can be low self-esteem. It can be low confidence. It can be a general distrust towards people and romantic relationships. It can be all sorts of fears and insecurities. It can even be patterns that we formed during our early years in our childhood or our teenage years and are still carrying them over into our adult years without realizing, and they keep repeating into our life in many ways and forms. As obstacles, as third parties and things like that don't let us have our ideal relationship. In some cases, it can be just a pattern that we have with that specific person, maybe not a pattern that we have our whole lives, but maybe for some reason we have a dominant story with that specific person that they are rejecting us or abandoning us. Or it could be, like I said, rejection issues, abandonment issues, patterns that we have formed into our subconscious in our early years and are still carrying over with us until today. So how do we move past those patterns or those stories, those tendencies, those circumstances? First of all, it's good to identify what exactly it is in our case, and it could be a combination of things too. But what exactly it is in our case that is manifesting these patterns, is manifesting these sort of relationships, these sorts of obstacles in our relationships, these third people coming into our SP's lives and our lives. So once we identify what the root cause is, what I suggest that we do is that we revise the past story, the old story, or if revision is too difficult, we can practice forgiveness of the past. And this is where I suggest that you watch my video on revision, because I explain everything in detail there, and I give a lot of practical advice on how to do revision of the past or forgiveness of the past, which I highly suggest. And once you do that revision or that forgiveness, you step into a new version of yourself, where you start feeling like a new person, a new improved version, a new state of yourself, where you are now confident, you feel whole, you feel secure, you feel trusting in relationships, you feel chosen, because most, if not all, third-party issues are ultimately an issue of not feeling important enough, not feeling worthy enough, not feeling chosen by your specific person. So you are now stepping into a new self who is chosen, who knows that they deserve to be chosen, who are confident and secure and have high self-esteem, and they know they're whole and complete and are worthy of whatever they want and whoever they want. So you want to be practicing that state and getting into that state, and just start to improve your self-concept in this way. And it's also important that you start acting like that person. Now, I'm not saying that it will necessarily happen overnight. It might need some inner work, it might need some practice, but that is fine as long as you keep practicing it, as long as it feels more and more natural over time, as long as you keep seeing progress, you're on good track. Okay, so keep practicing that new state, keep getting yourself into that new state, and keep getting yourself into that feeling, into that embodiment of the person who is actually chosen and whole and complete and worthy and confident and all that good stuff. Now, my advice is that you don't skip this step. You can skip it if you want and just go straight to the next step. But if you do skip it, know that if you haven't worked on your self-concept issues, they are likely to come back in some way or form in the future. Maybe they manifest in a different relationship, or maybe in your relationship with your specific person. But somehow, if they are left unresolved, they are likely to pop up again. So this is why I say that they are important, and I would advise you not to skip them. Now, after you've worked on your self-concept, the way we just discussed, how do you actually remove the third party? Well, that's simple. You focus on you with your specific person. You focus your energy, your attention, your imagination in imagining a relationship with them that is happy, that's fulfilling, that's committed. You imagine yourself with them in whatever ideal scenario you're manifesting. However you want to see your relationship, just go ahead and imagine it. Loving, happy, exclusive, committed relationship, marriage, whatever else you want. Just go wild there. One thing I want to say about the third party, if you can, the best thing is to not pay them attention, or to pay them as little attention as possible. Because just like with everything else, the less attention you pay to something or to someone or to a circumstance, the less of a problem they're going to be. The less of an issue they're going to be, the less of an obstacle they're going to be. It's always a matter of where you put your energy, that's what you see more of. So it follows very logically that if you don't put your energy onto them, they're not going to be an issue, and they will likely eventually disappear and just fall off, or whatever. The circumstance is going to shift in some way or another, and they're not going to be an issue for you and your relationship anymore. So if you can remain indifferent to their presence, that is ideal. The less attention you pay them, the better. Now, I'm fully aware that in many cases, this is not as easy as it sounds, that it's not very easy to not think about their presence, to not acknowledge their presence. And that's fine too. If you find yourself thinking about them a lot, you can do something else. If you can't stay indifferent to their presence, and if you can't not pay them attention, you can instead intend for them to perhaps meet someone new that new person is the love of their life, and they're happy with them, and they're fulfilled with them, and they're very happy, while your SP is super happy and fulfilled being in a relationship with you. You always want to wish them well. You always want to see them lovingly and send them love, because if you're familiar at all with the concept of everyone is you pushed out, you know that you don't want to think ill or wish ill on anybody, because that can actually come back to you in some way or form. So you want to see them with love, you want to send them love, you want to wish them the best, and you can still intend that they are away from your SP, away from your life and your relationship. They are with someone new, they are happy, they are thriving, they are fulfilled, they are doing fantastic, and they're just away. They're not in your life anymore, or in your SP's life anymore. So you can intend that instead. That is a good alternative if you are unable to remain indifferent to the circumstance of their presence. So I intend this has helped. I'm going to wrap up this video here. As always, thank you very much for watching this channel and watching this content. I love making this content for you guys. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all at the next video. And until then, take care and bye-bye.